Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For today's khatira, I want to discuss a scene that I think is quite powerful. SubhanAllah, it's actually in the movie. I just recently watched the movie Lion of the Desert. And there's a scene towards the end of the movie where Omar Mukhtar he's been captured by the Italian general who was fighting him throughout the movie. And there's a bit of dialogue between the Italian general, who obviously is working on behalf of Italy, which is working to colonize Libya. And he says to him that something to the effect of, why did you continue to fight after it became blatantly clear that you were going to lose, that you had no chance of driving us out of Libya? And it's the response that's quite profound. He says, Umar Mukhtar says, we fought you, that's enough. That just the act of fighting is enough. And I think that's an important mindset. Throughout the movie, you see a clear difference in the way of thinking between the Italian general and Umar Mukhtar and his fighters. You see, on the side of the general, it's all about legacy. It's about witnessing his own greatness, achieving something that will be mentioned in the history books. Whereas for the Muslim side, it's just about doing what's right. It's about doing what is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Maybe they don't say that explicitly, but that's very clear, at least to a Muslim, that that's what the actions are about. And so I want to kind of relate this to, our present time, right? Clearly, we're in a time where there's a lot of trials and tribulations. Obviously, what's going on in Gaza. But even before that, there was, oppression happening to the Uyghurs, to the Rohingya, to even all throughout Palestine. Now, obviously, there's another conflict in Sudan as well. And so, as Muslims, I think one of the things that we can kind of get bogged down into is that our efforts are, sad to say, I think more like that Italian general's efforts, where we're more concerned about being able to witness the results of our efforts. We don't want to strive towards something and then not reap to see the benefits in this life. And I think that mindset is deficient, it's weak. Because ultimately, what it is it's you're attaching your own effort and striving to something that is not even in your hands. Victory is only in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also, as we all know, we would maybe not if we were in that time, but we would all, love to have the reward of someone like Sumayya or someone like Yasir, right? The parents of Ammar ibn Yasir, who died as shuhada in the very beginning of the Prophet of the Prophet, in the very early days of Islam. Or to be like Hamza, or to be like the countless other Sahaba who did not live to see Fatah Makkah. In theory, we would love to, have the ajr, to have the reward that they got. But I think in practicality, sometimes that's not the case. And this is a reminder to myself first and foremost. So, with that all said, we look at the coming election and everybody's apprehensive. What's the result going to be? Is it going to be Trump or Kamala Harris? Is Jill Stein going to get the 5% she needs? What's going to be the end result? I think what should be more concerning to everybody here is, what have I contributed? What am I going to contribute tomorrow towards a better outcome for the believers here and abroad, right? In while I'm alive and after I die, and what actions are most pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, the whole mindset needs to be about the overall goal and objective, and not about uh, what is a necessarily expedient for me. You know, if I could do one action today and it would guarantee that Palestine would be free, that the Muslims, you know, would live in peace. But by doing it, I knew that I would, it would take 100 years for it to happen. Of course, I would do it, right? Obviously, we want something, the sooner the better, obviously. But the reason why we want things to be happen sooner is just because we don't want people to suffer any longer than what is necessary. You know, it's not because I want to witness anything personally myself, right? It's about what's most pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think that mindset is quite powerful, and I think what it does is it allows for sacrifice, and it allows for real change, right? Change does not happen to those who have fickle conditions. You know, if you have too many conditions to do something, you're probably not going to do it. But if you have determination to do something, and your mindset is just about getting the job done, getting the goal completed, then I think a lot of opportunities open up. And at the end of the day, nothing is uncounted. If you don't witness something in this life, Allah will witness it, and if your actions led to it, you'll get the reward in a time when trust me, you're gonna want it a lot more. On the day of judgment, you'll find yourself, like the Prophet says, there's a man who come on the day of judgment, he'll find more deeds than he thought he has. Like he'll have like all these deeds, and he didn't do them, but it was his actions that led to them, and Allah will give him a share of the reward. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us a people of focus. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us a people of sacrifice. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us a people of strategy. May we be a stepping stone towards final liberation for our brothers and sisters across the world, especially our brothers and sisters in Gaza. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to act in a way that is most effective, most strategic, and that is selfless. وآخر دعوانا والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.